Come on, baby. There we are.
Good morning.
Good morning, Omniverse. How are y'all doing out there? So, Jen, let's just make it clear, folks. We did not stay in the same hotel room. We're live streaming from, where are we? Sedona, because Megan Shapiro planned the Converge Construction Conference.
Yes.
And so there's a whole bunch of super awesome people out here. And it's 6 a.m. for us.
In Arizona.
In Arizona. But we are here to have a live stream, and Jennifer and I are in the same room.
Yes.
And so, man, we could just get right to it.
We could. But also cool, I want to hit two things. One, while we're here.
Yeah.
And we're about to have a weekend with some really cool people and do some really cool fun things. So we were talking about how does this feel different and why? So I want to hit that a little bit, but also Jesse, we figured out how we were going to do this in about 25 minutes ago. So I'm like, Jesse, where are we going to be? What are we going to do? And so we're doing scrambling. And so yes, we are here this morning.
Yeah, y'all can't see the background. It's a freaking disaster behind the lens, but we're ready to go. So we're going to talk about how to make rejection valuable.
Yes.
And you saw the thumbnail that I put out. Right? For me, it's dancing with rejection. How do you dance with it? How do we embrace it? And folks, if you're out there, give us a signal. If you can hear us, if the audio's coming through, because we're at a different setup, so I don't know if it's working or not. And if not, we're just going to talk anyways. So let's start with the house. Oh shit!
What?
I forgot the randomizer.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I will go through with blue heart stuff, and you can do randomizer. So, what we would like for you to do, some of you were coming across your feed, and you're like, who are these two knuckleheads? And that's okay. If you've not ever listened or participated in our No BS live stream, we're talking to you. Also, those of you that maybe have been on and joined us and listened to us, but you haven't really join the conversation by adding a comment or contributing, answering questions, things like that. We're talking to you. And even those that maybe have been a part of this journey with us over the last 3 years, and you're just coming back. You had family and life and things happen, and now you're coming back and you are here. Also, we're talking to you. We would like for you to put a blue heart in the comments. That's all you need to put. And it can be, you can write blue heart, you can right click and go to emojis and put a blue heart. But that signals some things for us. So number one, it lets us know you're there. So we can acknowledge you, because we do not know you're there unless you let us know. And also our No BS tribe, who is very active on the socials, and that's kind of how we interact with a lot of them. We'll jump on and join you and connect with you and support your content. And that is how we grow our tribe. So that is our ask. If you are any of those, put a blue heart so that we can recognize you.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
They can't hear us.
Mr. Jim. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you for coming through.
Good.
Mr. Edmund coming in. What's up, my man?
He's been all over. He's one. And then thank you. You are supporting my content, and you are always adding value. So thank you so much.
Yeah, he says, hola from Picola, on the other side of the world.
Yes.
My brother, Mr. Mario
Good
Acosta.
morning.
How about this guy? You know this guy.
Oh, yes. Good morning. He couldn't join us last time. He had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Wedding stuff, all the stuff. So, yes.
You got to get priorities.
I know.
Priorities. No, thank you that you're here. Oh, wait, I lost one. We got a blue heart.
We got a blue heart.
Uh-oh, where'd it go?
Jonathan, good morning.
Yeah.
So those of you that are out there that are in our tribe and in our community, connect with Jonathan, love on Jonathan a little bit. So Jonathan, thank you. And we're going to be asking some questions, having some really good conversation today. So please contribute to the conversation. We are so glad you're here.
Yes, and y'all already know Swore. Go get them. We got Miss. Oh my God, there.
Come on.
You're going too fast for me.
I know.
Pansy LinkedIn user, Miss Pansy. You got to listen to. I just released our conversation. Okay. I interviewed her.
Oh, okay.
Gangsta.
Thank you for being here.
Gangsta.
Is that a blue heart?
Yeah, let's call it a blue heart.
Make sure you connect with her.
Mugalu coming in from Uganda.
We're international today.
Jonathan's coming in with all the happy
emojis.
faces.
I know. Once you find the emojis, it's like, yes.
Oh, look at this.
Who do we have?
Repeat
Cindy,
offender.
good morning. We're so glad you're here. Oh my
Oh.
God, we got a crew today.
What's happening? All right. And then we got Edmund again. Supporting your content's real great. Enjoy your reel. That's what it's about.
Thank you, Edmund.
Amazing. Okay. And
Okay.
so now the count is up to 6.
Okay.
And so the other
You gotta
benefit,
tell them about
yeah, of jumping into the comments, like leaving an emoji in the thing or leaving a comment or whatever, gets your name put into the randomizer. And so what that means is at the top of the hour, it's a little raffle. And the only way to get in is to make comments in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or the YouTube or the LinkedIn. It'll get you in the randomizer. And if your name gets selected, you'll be invited to get a free seat to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and Cultivation Crew, just so you can get a flavor and see if you like it. So you already know. Drop your comments, drop your questions. We are going to be talking about rejection.
Yes.
And how to make rejection valuable. So do you remember how we got to this subject?
Well, I think one is our topic last time, and we did have an after party where we had some additional conversations, which is usually how we get to the next live stream topic. And I think failure came up, and like how do we overcome failure? When failure happens in our life, we have a lot of people that, whether it's jobs or they had a thought, or this is my journey, this is what I want to accomplish, these are my goals, and then things get off track. Whether it's personal, like we made that decision ourselves, or someone else doesn't see what we see. And so we thought, and then I think that dancing with rejection, it's almost like how do we use it as a valuable tool? Because I was telling you, like, rejection and failure in my mind are so important. And everyone was like, what do you mean? That sucks. It does suck. But when we win, we don't learn.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's why every time someone said no to me or something didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I had to go, ooh, okay, what do I need to do different? What am I doing that I can then, repitch it? Or, hey, this didn't work. How can I adjust it? And so it always gave me an opportunity to grow.
I like it. And now I remember. Thank you for the reminder.
You're so welcome.
For me, I remember the conversation now because what was going through my head is like, I have a choice. And it's, if I avoid rejection, what I'm left with is regret. Right? And for me, regret is really, really unhealthy. It spirals me into other things. And I've learned to embrace and dance with rejection, right? Because it's just, in my head, it's just part of the deal. And I also recognize that there was a time where rejection was it was the scariest thing that kept me from trying anything, right?
Yes.
And then fast forward to now, I'm a grown up. I don't know if I'm a grown up, but I'm of the adult age.
By your age, if you classify.
Right. And I know a bunch of people that have really great ideas. They want to make things better for the people in their space. And the reason they don't take action is because they're concerned that it's not going to take. They're concerned that people aren't going to embrace it. They're not going to adopt it. And all of those other things. And my brain says, oh, they're not. They're not on the first iteration of the first wave, the first shot. They're not going to take it. And that's good, because then you'll learn what you need to do, what you need to adjust to serve them in the manner you want to serve them. And for me, it's interesting, right? Because that's just how I think. But when I'm telling somebody that, they're like, what the hell? What? What about the ROI? I'm going to invest all my time and energy. And nobody's oh, there's something here. So we need to talk about it. So we got some comments.
Okay. Then I want to say that I want to.
Yes.
Oh, we got more people.
So,
Thank you for joining us.
Y'all already know, Lisa. I'm just going to say you're a blue heart.
Yes.
So everybody can attack.
Connect.
Yep. Mr. Mario, he says this is a real intro. Oh yeah, man.
And a blue heart.
Yeah. Mario. So Mario's pretty elite soccer player, athlete mindset.
Nice.
So you know about this. It might just be in a different form. So
Yes.
I'm excited to see what he's going to contribute. Then Jonathan says, normal brains don't like it whereas dyslexia, ADHD, and other neurodivergence comes with a solution-based approach. So yes, I think, thank you, Jonathan. It was a very nice way of saying, Jesse, you like it because you're sick in the head. Thank you.
You got issues. And so I want to add, when I think about rejection, I view it as a delay. And so the way my brain sees it is that, okay, it's just delaying me to get to where I need to go. And when I change my thinking to it's not a no and it's not a start from scratch, it completely changed the way that I approach it. And so an example, and this is probably not something that, yesterday, so we flew into Phoenix. We flew into Phoenix, and then we were coming to Sedona, and it was supposed to be like a little over an hour drive. The road was shut down. And so I'm like, that's a no. You're not doing this. So now we're going to reroute you 3.5 hours versus an hour.
Yeah.
And it took us all through the mountains. And so again, it was a delay, but what we were able to experience in that 3.5 hours, we wouldn't have been able to experience. So it's like, it was one of those where if I just look at rejection as a delay, and then it's still going to get me where I want to go, sometimes it's going to allow me and force me to do some things, learning, evolve, maybe experience some things that I would not have experienced if I got the yes.
Agreed. Yes. I like that, because that's a nice soft entry for folks and for the question that we got. So out there in the Omniverse, here's the question. Is rejection the end of the road? Right, and I think Jennifer kind of didn't get it.
I didn't even know that was the question.
Gave the answer already. But what I think is important is its perspective. It's the way we look at it and react to it, or maybe do we react to rejection or do we respond to rejection? So, right? Like that. Yeah. And in what you just described, the reaction would have been, "This is bullshit. I hate this," blah. And then you're grouchy and grumpy and pissy for 3 hours.
Yes.
Or you respond and say, well, let's see what this path presents to us, right? And then, taking that in and adjusting. So, folks, as y'all answer the question, right, is rejection the end of the road? Feel free to expound on your thought there.
Yes.
I'm with you, right? Yes. I'm going to say it 2 ways.
Okay.
When I fear, or rather, when I avoid rejection, it will never be the end of the road because I never got on the freaking road.
Yes.
Right? I'm just parked, stewing in my own stuff. And so, but as I go and get, put myself out there or whatever, it's absolutely not the end of the road. It's just an indicator of what the appropriate or smoother path is. It's part of the road, right? It's part of the deal. And I think if anything, folks out there that are kind of rejection averse, the one thing I'd love for you to latch onto and really, really think about is consider that rejection is part of the deal. Meaning, if you want to do great shit and you want to impact people's lives, and every one of you out there, you have something really meaningful and important to share with the world. And you need to get it out there. And hang your hat on the idea that rejection is part of the game. It's not an indicator that you're inferior. It's not an indicator that your idea is dumb or you're less than. It's part of the freaking deal. Am I exaggerating?
No, you're. And what it makes me think of, if you want to change the world, if you want to do something that's never been done, if you want to go out and you want to just pave the way, those are made with hold my beer moments, watch this moments, and they don't always turn out great. but it's those are part of the stones that are paving that path. And you kind of have to, you're going to have to do that to be able to get in front of everyone else that's checking the box and doing the things that are already proven, safe. These are going to get me off the bad list. All of the things that are just going to keep you one step. If that is where you are, that's where you are. But if you're not one of those people, and we realize our tribe is usually not those people, it's you're going to have to risk it a little bit. there's going to be risk involved. And I think
Yes.
the falling and the getting up and the rejection for me is when I stopped making it personal.
Yes.
And I mean, like there have been times where I've either been told no, or I didn't know what I was talking about, or that can never happen. And I'm like, okay. And then I could go back and go scrap that, start over. Or I could go, okay. And then I just keep going until they catch up. And then when they catch up and they go, hey, Jen, remember when you had that idea? And well, we're thinking this, great, because here it is. Because it didn't stop me from what I see or what I think I could do. Now, again, it may not be perfect. It may be something that still needs some adjustment. We got to get some, but the whole time I was going, okay, we're gonna get this to a point to where maybe then it will be ready. If you can approach rejection like that, you're going to be so much further along, even in your learning. Not just like, okay, I took this step, but I've learned all of this along the way, and now my conversations are better, my facilitation is better, my questions are better, because now I've thought about how maybe it didn't work in this one situation.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I
Yes.
see people talking.
Look at this, Miss Angela. Favorite.
Yes.
So we got some really
Okay,
good,
okay.
And folks, keep it coming.
Yes, please.
Because people watch the replay. We get a lot of watch time on the replays. And so folks out there in the Omniverse know that like your nuggets, your perspectives, your thoughts, other people are like taking from that.
Yes.
So share your wisdom. Mr. Jake Jones says, yep, rejection is never the end of the road. It's just a stop along the way and maybe a reroute.
Yes.
Yes. Healthy way to look at it, right? Mr. Edmund says rejection is an interesting motivator for focus and true, sincere delivery. So I love that he throws sincere in there because I'll just say it. When I got started long time ago trying to sell my ideas, I was not sincere. Right? I was trying to make it seem like this is for your benefit. And it was all about me. And because I wasn't sincere, that came across. And so the idea wasn't getting rejected. It was my approach that was getting rejected. And so sincerity does not eliminate rejection, but sincerity will lower the amount of rejection. And because we're being sincere, rather when we're being sincere, the amount of adjustment is not dramatic. You might be a couple of degrees off. But if you were fake like me, just trying to sell everybody whatever I had for my own purposes, I had to make dramatic shifts and get a lot of rejection until I realized, like,
before you move on to the next one, I you and I talk about this a lot, is when you lead with connection. Versus like you're selling or you're trying to like prove something.
Yep.
When you lead with connection where you're not selling, and then that person starts understanding your motives. And like, is it authentic? Is it sincere? Like what's important to them? What are they passionate about? When you lead with that and you create those connections first, when you come to them with an idea or you come to them with, hey, I think with this, there's other things that they see that are coming from it.
Yes.
And I'm not sure I'm not describing it right, but it's like when you lead with connection and you create the connection first, then you come in with that idea. They can see the thought process behind it.
Yes. Yeah, and they feel it. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's a transfer of a feeling, an emotion, a connection, like a real thing that, yes, we're going to exchange some form of value. I'm going to give you a service. You're going to give me money or whatever that is. But the feeling is, oh, you're trying to help me. You're trying to serve me. You care about my outcome long term or my goals, my plans, etc.
Yes.
And so, I got an example, but I'll come back to that. First, I'm going to go to Pansy. Pansy says, it's always hard to deal with rejection. Agree. We're human. Well, most of y'all are. But you can use it as a building block. Yes. If you allow it to, rejection can force you to be introspective, grow, and do great things. And she says, hold up here. I love it. And so, like, on that point, I think it's ultra powerful. And again, I'm just going to brag on Pansy a little bit. I got to talk to her for over an hour. And introspection, like, she's not just using a fancy word. It's the way she
The way
rolls.
she
It was
goes
clear, and the way I was like, oh my God, this woman is amazing. And so I want to give a little bit of an example of how this is for folks out there that are still like, y'all are fucking nuts. Y'all are damn nuts.
We already know
Right.
that.
This rejection thing is no way, no bueno.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
If you're looking at it from certain perspectives.
Right. And so back in the day, we'll just go back to my middle school days when I was at Tafoya in San Antonio, and I'd go think about asking a girl to dance, right? I'm going to go ask, because I love to dance. And I would terrify me. And then I would go ask the girl to dance, and she would say no. And then my whole night was bombed, right? Nobody likes me, blah, 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 whatever. So that was where I started. And I think it's where we all start, kind of like what Pansy said. It's human. It doesn't feel good. Now, all she said was no. She didn't say my breath stinks. She didn't say I'm a goofball. She didn't say I'm trash. But guess what I was saying in my head? All of those things, right? And so fast forward, let's just say 20 years, and I go ask the lady to dance, and she says no. I've learned that, what was playing? It was country. So she doesn't like country. I'm going to wait till they play hip hop, and I'm going to ask her to dance. And if she says no, I say, she doesn't like hip hop either. And then you're going to play some salsa, and then I'm going to ask her to dance, and she's going to be hesitant. And then I say, you know what? I'm going to go dance with somebody else. And then I come back and ask her to dance, and she says, yes, let's dance. Right? And so the point is, the rejection in that little dance scenario, I'm gathering intel.
And maybe it's not about you.
100%.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm gathering intel that is going to inform how I can better serve that person or better connect with that person. And so I know like the dance analogy is a little silly,
but it's real, Jesse. And for me, how it translates is, those of you that know me, those of you that surround that are in my space, I will pull you into something. Just gonna say.
Yes.
Whether it's training, whether it's speaking, whether it's, hey Jesse, I signed us up to go do this thing. Like I will pull people in because I always want to give people a platform, elevate them, shine a light on them. Like that's just what I love to do. And there are a lot of people that I'm like, oh my gosh, your story is amazing, or I need you to come do this with me, or I think you need to share this. And they're like, nope, that's not me, Jennifer. I don't do that. I don't stand up in front of people. That is you going. I mean, that is how they respond to me.
Yeah.
And again, I'm used to it. But I also know, because of my personal connection to them, it's powerful, and it's so important that they tell their story that I don't tell their story.
Yes.
And so, how I work them in, pull them in, give them the prep, coach, whatever it is to help them get up there. And this week I had one of those where I needed someone to come in and help, co-facilitate a training class with me. And he's just like, Jennifer, this is not my thing. Like, he works on site, he helps us lead projects, and he is amazing. And I think he speaks well, but it scares him. He doesn't like getting up in front of people, public speaking, all that. So we trained it, we talked about what it was going to look like. He got up there and killed it.
Yes.
And even when he finished, he was just like, yeah, I didn't like it, but if you need me again for another one, let me know.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like,
Yes.
just a little bit at a time. But maybe it's not you, I want to emphasize.
Yes.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's because of something on their end that they just need more data. They need a little bit more time or a little bit more coaching to go, okay, this isn't going to be so bad.
Yeah. Well, and I think, so I'm going to throw the question up. The next question, we got some great insights that I'm going to come back and read, but I think you touched on something that I hadn't considered, right? Because I've been thinking more about, let me put the question up first. The next question for the Omniverse. How much are you holding back for fear of rejection? Now, and I'm going to color that with kind of the thought I started a little while ago, is a bunch of the people on the call probably don't have this problem.
Right, I would agree.
But they are leaders of people that want to help the people around them grow.
100%.
So, based on what you just said, when you have people in your space, and I'm the same way, right? I'm kind of like gasoline, right? Like, we're gonna do something, but you know it.
Don't come hang out with Jesse. If you are not ready to go do something, do not.
And so when people, and I deal with it a lot, right? When people are fearful, like they got a lot of things running in their head. It's human. Somebody said it earlier, right? It is part of the human condition. But how do we, like, instead of pushing people, and this is what I used to do, right? Just get out of your comfort zone. You need to put yourself out there. You got to just jump, right?
Yeah.
And jump. And what I'm doing, like what I was causing is I was causing that person who needed support to feel like now I became another judger. Because I'm like, oh, you just don't want to jump. You just don't want it bad enough. You like, this type of mentality. And so what I've learned, and here's the suggestion, just like Jennifer, her story demonstrated, is jump with them.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes. Like, come on, hold my hand. We got this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bring them, like escort them into the thing so that they understand, or at least get some more data points that it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be a disaster. It may not be spectacular and easy and comfortable and fun. It's going to be terrifying and uncomfortable and clunky and wonky, but it's not bad.
Yes.
And you're helping them get a little bit closer to embracing or getting past the hurdles that they're putting in their head.
So our personal story after we finish sharing. I want to. It's a personal story around exactly what you just.
Okay, so I'm going to read these two because I think they're important to read. Mario, and this again connected to what we just said, right? Rejections can be seen as mistakes. Yes. If we do not make mistakes, we will never know what we need to work on. Yes. Same for rejection. Without them, we will remain in our comfort zone.
Yes.
And, I want to say, like, the comfort zone isn't bad. It's not a bad thing. But if you're in your comfort zone and discontent with the experience you're having in the world, you need to get the hell out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, don't stay in there and complain about it.
Right. It's totally within your power. Mr. Edmonds bringing the heat today. He says, reject is a road to true discovery. Yes. I still remember that it is one thing that has built my mindset to the point of saying, I am comfortable being alone. Oh, brother, hell yeah. Against the world, as long as I believe it is for everyone's good. Yes. And that's how truly you get to help the masses when you love them. Amen. Oh, okay, Jen, what's your story?
No, so my story, and it's personal, goes along with what you just said, jump with them.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you that don't know, I have a 14-year-old daughter, struggles with anxiety. So she struggles with like trying to do something with her fear of it's going to go completely awry. Like that's just, she sees it ahead of time. All the scenarios of how things could go wrong. And that is kind of what she leads with. And so I have to navigate that with her and also kind of not enable her. And so I was traveling and she calls me, she said, Mama, I'm trying to make something on the stove and I'm worried that I'm going to mess it up. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, my first reaction is just read the box, read the instructions on the box. Like that's what most of us would do. I also know that her brain doesn't think multi-steps. She thinks one thing at a time. And so in that moment, pulled up whatever it was she was trying to make, had it on my phone, and she's like, okay, what this is what I'm doing. That's exactly what you need to do. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Okay, so so we were walking through this thing together and her anxiety started going down. Then I do this next, right? Absolutely. And then we were walking through that. And so now the next time she does it, her confidence is going to be more.
Yes.
Because she did it, but like she needed that versus me going, just read the box. Like that to me would be a normal, that's not even too far off.
Right.
But to do it with her, she felt I was in another state, but she felt like I was doing it with her.
Yes.
And so just a personal example of sometimes it's not these big grand things. It's just trying to get somebody over a hump, get somebody to be able to take that jump, that small jump.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the escort part, right? Helping somebody get there is Because who's rejecting her?
Herself.
Herself.
Oh, yes.
Right. So
Yes.
maybe it's that, right? Like we as influencers, supporters, lovers of people, we need to help people stop rejecting themselves.
Yes.
Because once they get past that,
Yep.
the ball starts rolling.
Yes.
I like that. Man, you're
That may
pretty
be the
smart.
next Josh.
Weren't we talking about like
Oh, yes.
a no BS? I'm sorry, a lean in love.
Oh, my
relaunch
God.
or something?
Yes. We'll have to see if we have some time at the end to go, okay, we're dabbling with this idea.
You know?
We'd love your thoughts.
I agree.
Yes,
I
yes.
agree. Oh my God. Okay. Mario dropping the wisdom. The moment we lose the fear of failure and rejection is the moment that we hit the break.
Yes.
Right. And
It's like freedom.
absolutely freedom. And I'm gonna say this, right? Like I know it probably seems like I don't care and I just go do like whatever.
He does.
I do. I get nervous. I get like those things run through my head 100% all the time. And I do it anyways, right? Because it's the breakthrough. Now, I wanna make a point because it's been said a couple of times. Rejection can be fuel, right? Like oh yeah, I'm gonna show your ass, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to caution people because I've been there, where I got rejected, my idea got rejected, or whatever it was, and my energy came from
I'm gonna prove you
wrong.
Yeah.
And it's good fuel. I mean, it is fuel, but it's dirty fuel, right? Meaning there are consequences and side effects to letting it be dirty, negative fuel. Whereas, so I guess that's it. That's just the warning, right? Like I understand the hurt and the pain and the scars that it causes and how that can be a place to grow from and get past the thing. I guess the warning is this. If it's the dirty fuel that helps you get past your own rejection, use it, but start finding some clean fuel because
you just hashtag a new one.
Dirty fuel.
Hashtag dirty fuel.
Hashtag
Look at that.
Watch out. Watch out. All right, so we got the chief marketeer.
Well, right. Did you hear that, Steve? He said hashtag dirty fuel, hashtag clean fuel.
Yo.
We got a new opportunity.
So Steve Martin says, not the end of the road, more of a test. Yes, it's I like that. Uncooked brownie batter on the toothpick. You're just not perfected yet.
I love that analogy.
Oh, I'm hungry too. We got breakfast.
I know.
8:30 a.m.
Okay.
sharp. We will have breakfast here at the Converge Construction Conference. Look, Mario again bringing the athletic.
The athlete part, like that one. Yeah. I'm an athlete, so Mario, you're already speaking to my heart. But it's the athlete part, like rejection. Like you're not going to win everything. You're not.
Losing is part of the game.
I'm just like that. Even with my kids, it's like we talk about. I translate that to work a lot because we work in construction. We're not going to win every job we go after.
Right.
And like we get so wound up on, okay, what did we do? Instead of let's stop. Why did we win? Why did we lose? Why did the competitor lose? What did they have? Like that's an opportunity for the next one. Same thing when we lose again. Game film. When you're studying game film, it's because what are those things that we could have done better to help the outcome be different?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. I want to remind you guys out there, if y'all came in a little bit late, dropping a comment in the chat gets you put into the randomizer. So we got about 26 minutes before we will do the randomizer. And also, we will not be hosting an after party today. So if anybody out there wants to take that ball and run with it, please do, because we're going to be hanging out with some super, super awesome people live and in person in Sedona.
And we'll be sharing all of that.
Oh yeah. If you're curious, go find Megan Shapiro on LinkedIn because she's been posting little updates as we go through. It started yesterday, and it's continuing to be awesome. So another pointer here. Well, actually,
Sorry, I interrupted you when you brought Mario's up, so I didn't. You started talking, but I didn't.
No, you're good.
Okay.
So we already talked about. Okay, here's one. This is a big one, and Jen, you just get your story ready because you got to know I'm asking this. Have you had an opportunity that started out as a rejection, right? Did you have a rejection? So that question is for you folks out there in the Omniverse. Of course, me and Jen are going to share our stuff too, but what, like, has that happened? Because I know it happens. And I also want to make sure Miss Cindy, she says, walking with someone is a form of leadership, right? And thank you, Cindy. You know, we've been talking about escorting people to do the thing with them side by side to help them get past their own personal, like them rejecting themselves. And I love that Cindy points this out, that is a form of leadership, because it absolutely is. But more importantly, it helps us contrast the difference between formal leadership by title or position or seniority, whatever that is, and actual leading humans. So, Sandy, thank you for the comment, because it helped us.
Well, the clarification helps, because
Yes.
we see leadership as leading. And in our minds, well, how do you lead? You lead from the front.
Yes.
And that's by default, that's like, I've got to go and lead the way. We're charging over the cliff or whatever. I'm leading it. And we have to stop and really understand what is leadership.
Yeah.
You don't have to always mean that they're all following you.
Correct. I'll always go to this. There's a few things that make me a leader. The first thing is anybody following me? Is anybody on board with my message, my idea, my plan? If there isn't, I don't know that I'm a leader. Maybe I'm just learning how to lead myself, and that's okay. The second thing is, am I challenging people? Am I challenging the people around me? And the third thing is, am I providing the resources to help them develop capabilities?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing those three things, now I'm a leader. Am I challenging them? Am I helping them develop capabilities and providing them the resources they need? And are they with me? Yes, I'm a leader. If I'm not doing those things, I don't think I'm a leader.
I would agree.
All right. So, Jen, have you had an opportunity that started out as a rejection?
Yes. So I think in my career, there's been times there's lots of times that where I see we can go, or things that I see that are opportunities or on the path, people just aren't there yet. And at first it was, I saw it, I presented it, and they looked at me with that glaze. I know you know that.
Oh, yeah.
They look at me with that glazed look, and it's either you're crazy, or that can't happen, or like that isn't, they're just not there. And I think as I've grown in my career, there's been very intentional conversations, almost to the point of like, what are you thinking? And why would you think that would be okay, or that would be what's next, or that would be where we want to go? And for me, early on, that was a signal of, Jennifer, you don't know. And it would then turn into myself going, okay, I obviously don't understand it, so I just need to do what they're telling me to do. And it was a very intentional part in my career where I felt that, and I just got in line, and I just said, fine, I'm going to show up to the meetings, I'm going to answer the questions, I'm going to check the boxes, I'm going to go through the agenda, and my every part of my passion and my love and every part of me was completely just pushed aside. And there were some people that were like, okay, everything's great. A majority of the people I interacted with, what's wrong? Why are you not doing this? Why are you acting differently? Even phone calls afterwards on, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Everything's fine. Everything's not fine. Like literally, you didn't challenge this. You didn't say this. You didn't question this. Like those were other people that were looking to me for that. And because I allowed myself to really question what I thought I knew or what I thought I should do, it literally changed the way I engaged in those settings. And the people that were expecting it were disappointed. And it really made me stop and think, like, yes, this may not be what someone else sees, but everyone else is looking for it. So, and I don't mean like go in and you're breaking everything down and you're just completely derailing everything. But when you show up a certain way, and it may be a little bit, different than most people show up, like people begin to value that, and they look for that, because then it motivates them. It gives them something to go, okay, this is, I can do that a little bit too. And so it took me a little bit to get through that and understand, like, some very intentional people, like, you've got to stop. You've got to stop just showing up in whatever comatose state that you show up on, and you've got to show up as you. And people are not going to like it. People are going to push back. They're going to say things, and really understand. And just, you and I've talked about this. They're not rejecting you, Jennifer. They're rejecting the change that you represent.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it again. A lot of times when people are pushing back, and they may even say things that are not the best way, they could say it better, is they are not rejecting you. They are rejecting the change you represent.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And yes, they are not. They are rejecting the change. Oh, and I mean, and Cindy, without spilling the beans, that internal rejection, right, of whatever. A lot of times, I'm rejecting the change of what my identity is going to have to transform.
Yes.
My identity is going to have to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to let go of some of this. I don't know what the hell I'm getting over there. And so a lot of that, like,
Yes.
And so we're rejecting the change of what that might or could be.
On the receiving and giving. So, like, for me, it was I was looking at it personally, and also if you are on the other side and someone pitches something to you, and you're scared of the change, like, make that be part of the conversation.
Yes.
So both giving and receiving in that setting.
Yeah. And like really painting the picture, like, yeah, it's going to be funky, and this could happen, this could not happen, etc. I think this is Pansy. She says,
"Fire talking to me."
No. She put the fire because she knew what I'm about to say. That's what it was. And so I got my answer to this question. Okay, have I had an opportunity that started out as rejection? Yes. Like, back when COVID hit, I got ultra clear about what I wanted to be spending my time doing, right? Like, I had enough time to reflect, and I had an amazing job. I've had amazing jobs for too long. It's not fair, right? Yeah. But there was, like, even though, like, the job I had was like, nobody should have that job. It's too awesome. But there was still, like, a little sliver of what I would do that I absolutely loved. That was better than even the awesome job that I had. And so I kind of spent a lot of time thinking, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. The part that I absolutely loved was coaching people one-on-one or small teams for an extended period of time. Because I could see the shift in their thinking and how it impacted their quality of life at work, at home, etc. Right? And so once that became clear, it's like, this is what I need to do the rest of my life. So I put a plan together to, like
a 2 or 3 year plan.
Yeah. This is before I started making 600-year plans, and I kind of attempted to articulate to my company, the company I was working with at the time, like, hey, here's what I want to do that I think I'm specifically equipped to deliver that we don't have in this organization. And here's my transition plan to, like, hand off and keep these things going so that I could shift over and do this. And they said, we don't need that. Right? And so there's two things that I want to touch on there. Like, did it bug me? Yeah. Well, maybe there's three things. Did it bug me? Yes. Like, okay. And the truth was, what I was pitching, there were things that the intent of those things was to produce the same outcome that I was focused on. So technically they did have something, except that the outcome of those things, it wasn't happening, right? So now, there's two things I think they rejected. One was what the picture I painted was too far out.
Yes, sometimes they can't see it.
And they couldn't see it. And I didn't have the skill, or I failed to paint the next 2 or 3 steps. I presented 12 steps out. And so that leap was so dramatic I triggered their reaction to say, "Oh, hell no, we ain't gonna do that."
Fear.
Right. And so maybe that's a key point, right? Is sometimes I'm triggering rejection because the future that I'm presenting is too far out into the future because I've been obsessing about the thing and I see the entire path, but I'm not showing them the next step.
Yes, it's like those of you that have been around us, when we get super excited about
Yes.
it, you are like, in your mind, you've played it all
It's
out,
all,
and
yep.
you're like, they're just like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
Yep. Now, the second point I want to make, so that was a key point, right? Like, pump the brakes, baby. Bring it back a little bit. Just show them the next 1 or 2 steps because you might be freaking people out, and that's where the rejection's coming from. The second thing is, it was going like the option I had was this, and everybody has this option. I could have stayed there and just willed it to happen because I've done that before. But it was going to take me 10 to 20 years to make the shift that I wanted to make.
You don't work in 10 to 20 years.
No. Right. And so my point is this, right? Like if you're in a situation, because I've done it with other jobs, there was something I really didn't like the way things were for foreman and training. And, I had all these ideas and it took me 6 or 7 years to like make any kind of progress. And then it finally took off. And so that was my option. I was like, okay, I know I can stay here and do my day job and do this as a side gig. And I know how to make that fire start. It's just going to take me 10 years. So that is absolutely an option, right? If you really want it, put in the time. Or, so my second option, and this was like a realization at that point, was like, wait a minute, I can't be pissed off at them. This is their freaking business. Mm-hmm. It's not I'm gambling with their money, right? It is unreasonable for me to be pissy that they're not going to fund my idea. Mm-hmm. And then I said, oh, well, then I just need to make it my own, right? Like I need to take on all the risks. And that's where the idea oh shit, I just need to start my own business because I can do that thing faster.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yes.
Now here's the third point, folks. I had that realization, the rejection of nope, we don't need that. This is what we want you to do, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, then I need to start my own business. And it was almost 2 full years between that point of getting rejected and it actually coming to life. And I really want to point that out because it's easy. We think, I don't know why we do this. Our brains do this calculus and we see somebody in their current state and we do math like they just made a decision yesterday and they got there today. Like, no, shit, no. It took a lot. and we'll just, in measurable terms, it took a lot of time to create the conditions for me to deploy the change that I wanted to deploy. Have I had rejections along the way? Absolutely, right? And so back to the question, right? Have you had a rejection that turned into an opportunity? Yes. I got rejected about my idea that I wanted to do within the company, and that turned into the seed that is now the business and the experience that I'm having in this world today. And I also, I'm going to be cautious, Jen, because when I say that, I am giving people an excuse already because they can say, well, yeah, Jesse, you have your own business and I don't have that. Life's perfect for you.
I don't have a business.
Thank you. Please tell them.
No, so what I do inside my company is kind of what Jesse does outside in his own business.
Yes.
I get to do that within a firm. And the role that I have right now did not exist before I had it. Mm-hmm. So yes, there was this idea and there was something growing in the company. And I could have gone, I'm just going to get on this train. I'm just going to continue to do what we're doing because this is really cool. Or I could have, Jesse, gone, this is cool. I'm going to go do this outside the company.
Yep.
Or you could go in and see the value. And then if, depending on, the companies you work for, or you can pitch an idea and go, man, you could have an internal person running this. Mm-hmm. And they created it.
Yes.
And so.
But you have Was it guaranteed that they were going to say yes?
Oh, absolutely not. And I was doing my full-time job plus some of this for 4 years. 4 years I was doing kind of both and loving it, but also doing what my role was. And finally went in and said, hey, I have an idea. I think this could be valuable, this and that. Had no idea what it could be. And in fact, I remember the initial meeting as I went in, and I kind of had a list of all the things that this role could support. And I remember this. It was almost 7 years ago. The leader of our company looked at me and said, "There's no way you could do all of this." And I'm like, I know. And within I'm gonna say less than 4 years, I probably was doing 10% of what was on that list because it had all been accomplished, and we were now doing 90% of something else.
Yes. But you had to embrace, you had to come up to the table where rejection was option A or option B.
Or just like, you're crazy, and then at that point, that would have created another path.
Right.
And so, but you never know which path until you put yourself out there and you throw something out there and see what happens.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and so that's another point that you made that's really good is like, think about, and when I think about it this way, like the more the faster I can find out.
Yes.
The better off I'm going to be.
Yes. Get the know and then go.
Get the know change. Yes. And so I can't remember what I was talking about. Like, does it? I was like, no, it's awesome. It's like, do I want? Let's just say we're thinking about a collaboration with collaborating on some project or whatever, and I have an idea, and they don't like the idea, so I could pat it up, make it all soft and right and whatever, so that I don't hurt their feelings. And so that we can, get aligned and whatever. But then I don't know precisely where they stand.
Right.
But if I come direct and say, yes, I will collaborate with you. And here's my conditions. If it's going to take me more than 3 clicks to participate, I'm out. Like, you get 3 clicks from me. Any more than that, I'm just not going to do it. Or whatever. Like, is it scary? Is it abrasive? Yes. But it helps me know right now, are we together or not?
Yes.
Are we on the same path or not? So the rejection, again, is intel. It's a data point for me to say, okay, it's research.
Yeah.
We are not cool. Like, you're not the right person. I'm not the right person for you. Good. Next, let me go.
See, that's a great segue.
Tell me.
Just for Lean in Love. How did that?
Ooh.
I'm just saying. So that's a good, you're getting data points and you're getting research as to, is this the right person, or is this the right path, or is this what I need to be doing next or not? So just saying.
Okay, so 2 things, folks. If you've ever heard of Lean in Love, or 5S love letters, leave us a heart in the comments, because I guess we should probably talk about that.
Yeah, a red heart.
A red heart.
Red heart would be great.
Yep, because there's something that we've been kicking around before. So, folks, do that. Now, we got Mr. Josh.
I get to see you later.
We're hanging out with Josh here live and in person. And Josh, you get extra credit.
Yeah, because you're up watching us while you're here.
So far, I think you're the only one that's here in Sedona with us watching live. So thank you, brother. We got, let's see, Mr. Mario, of course, is bringing the heat. Yeah. He says, and yes, building anything original and from scratch takes a lot of time. Patience is a virtue not many have. If you do, then your business will be successful. And so thank you, Mario, so that we can go back and touch on that point, right, is rejection. A lot of times, kind of like we said, right, if we paint a picture that's too far away from where the person currently is, we're going to cause them to react. We're going to trigger all their fear. And when I have an idea that I need to put into place, it's almost always going to take 10 times longer than I expected it to be performing at the level that I want it to be, right? We'll just say that. Yeah. And a lot of times I've done this, and I think a lot of folks out there do this, is because it's not happening quick enough, we interpret that as a rejection.
Yes.
Like, it's just not going to work. Oh, look, we got it.
We got another one. She's like, wait a minute. I'm watching. Wait a minute.
Oh, you know what? Oh, shit. She's right next door. Donella, did we wake you up? Sorry. My bad. Donella's here too in Sedona. That's too funny. All right, Mario Acosta says red heart, red heart. So anyways, the time, like I'm just gonna say this. Whatever, when you have your idea, the way you're gonna serve the world and impact change and all the amazing things, you probably have a time frame in your mind, which is healthy, or rather even responsible. What I'm going to say is before you give up on it and decide it's not a good idea, whatever that time frame is you gave it at first, multiply it times 10, because that's actually more reasonable.
Yes.
Right? Because I mean, here's two things, right? When I'm passionate and obsessive about a thing, it could happen a little faster than it typically does if I only absolutely did that one thing.
How often do you do that? You just everything else in your life stops,
Right.
and you get to devote all of your time to this?
Never.
Okay.
Right? Like I gotta sleep, I gotta eat, I gotta brush my teeth once a week, right? Like we have responsibilities beyond these ideas or these things that we want to do, which when we're thinking and excited about the thing, we don't factor that in. And so you still have that. And so the time you think it's gonna take you is we don't know it, but I think what we do is this can happen in a week or this can happen in a month if this is all we did for a week or a month. And the reality is we're spending 2 hours a day, right? And so the amount of time that we got to put in to make the change is really 9 months or 12 months or 16 months. And the math was just a little bit off.
Changes, Jesse. When we talk about PDCA, you and I talk about plan, do, study, act. Like it's a cycle that you're literally always like making updates and changing, which means it's not just a check this box and
straight line.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line. All right. Christopher Johnson, what is up, my friend? Is this first time?
I don't remember seeing him on, so we're just gonna say
Blue Heart.
Thank you for the comment.
He says, appreciate the personal, relatable stories. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. All right. So should we do randomizer first or
let's finish out this topic, then we can use the last part to talk about the next topic.
I like it. What's the next topic gonna be?
Jesse, so we won almost 4 years ago, which is so crazy because it seems like it's been way sooner than that. But 4 years ago, well, no, you can tell the story real quick because that was like my thought to you on you had an idea.
Yeah.
You kept throwing it out and pitching it, and you were just like, this is not quite right. So anyway, had an idea. Jesse shared it, and then it blew up.
Yeah.
And then we did some live streams, and then we wrote a book, and
Yep.
then we launched No BS. Like it was like none of this was part of the plan.
Well, it wasn't all on my plan.
Of course
I just
it was
didn't
not
tell
your
you.
plan.
All right. Okay. So and there's a lot of rejection in that path.
Yeah.
But first,
Yes.
we're gonna do the randomizer.
Yes.
Sorry, Donella, being too loud over here. So well, I don't like that view. Where's the view that I like?
That's the
Well, it
view
doesn't
we
matter.
usually use, isn't it?
I don't know. All right, folks, we're doing it. Hold your breath. Cross your fingers.
There's so many things in there.
Steve Martin got selected again. Steve, you already know you're invited, and if you want to gift it to somebody, feel free to do so. Congratulations, my friend, Steve Martin. And I know that Steve Martin knows the history behind this red.
That's how we got it. That's how we hooked him.
Yep.
That's how we brought him in. Okay.
This red heart. Mario, thank you for the red heart. So what's it been?
Almost 4 years this summer.
Since we published the book?
No. Sorry, 3 years since we published the book. 4 years since we started the live stream.
Okay. So 3 years. Yeah, because we started the live streams first and then we did the book. Okay. So folks, if you didn't know, Jennifer and I co-authored, I shouldn't just keep it to us, right? Because it was the tribe.
It was this type of conversation.
Yes. We published a book called Lean in Love, 5S Love Letters, right? A no BS way to relationships, ripples of impact in relationships.
Yes.
And so I'm going to tie it to the topic here in terms of rejection. So, like for real rejection.
Right?
Like I got dumped again by an amazing woman that we were in a relationship, and before we got dumped, she knew that I'm kind of a lean psychopath, right? I was a lean zealot, and she was trying to connect with me and help me see that there was things that I needed, not I, but that we could have done differently so that to bring our relationship back to life. So what she did, if you're familiar with the 5 S's out there, look at Mario says it's rigged. He said the randomizer's rigged. Man, hit up Steve. Maybe he'll.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we broke up, she got one of my books, and it was talking about 5S, right? Sort, set, shine, standardize, sustain. And what she did was she contextualized that system and applied it to relationships, which was like so amazing. One, that she did that. Two, the subject matter that she wrote, I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be really valuable for a lot of people. Now, we broke up. Why? Because it didn't stick with me, but I knew it was valuable for other people. And so I had those letters, and I just thought they were phenomenal, and I knew I had to do something with them. And so I would share it with people. I would ask them about it. I would show it to them, because I knew, like, there was no doubt in my mind that it had to be shared with the world. Some people were like, Jess, you're a freaking psychopath. Like, why?
Like, what does that have to do with this?
Yeah, like, you dude, like, get over it. Leave it alone. You're too much. You're so extra, right? All these things. Some people were like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, we need that. Like, yes, I agree. And so that was rejection, right? A lot of some signals are like, yes, yes, yes. And a lot of other signals are like, no, 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 stupid. And so I didn't know precisely how to do it. I just knew that I needed to do something with it. And so I would present the idea to people. What do you think? And again, blah, blah, blah. It was that cycle for a couple of years. And then finally, Jennifer and I collided, and I'm going to fast forward through that. But it was clear to me, I had been introduced to live streaming, and I'm like, I need to do something. Maybe live streaming is the outlet to do this. And so Jennifer, I reached out to Jen, which turned into like a 3.5 hour conversation, which was amazing. And I said, hey, I have this idea. I've got these letters. What do you think about having a live stream over each of the S's? Sort, set, shine, standardize, sustain. And we'll talk about those concepts as they are related to what we have actually, like the dumb stuff that we've done, and how it can be applied to our relationships professionally and personally. Now, there was a lot of risk. Like, right? She could have said, shut up, stupid. And she did it. She's like, ooh, okay, let's do it. So we did the thing. We're figuring out the live stream thing. We could have been rejected, right? Nobody could, like, we could have done it and nobody showed up, but people showed up.
And we even had an initial plan that was completely stupid, and we had to change our plan along the way.
Yes. So long story short, we did 5 live streams on this thing, and they're still available on the YouTube, and they're out there. And then in the comments, just like now, our tribe was submitting their cheat codes and submitting their ideas and their like confessions and vulnerability. And we're like, oh crap, this is serious. Like, this is real. So eventually that evolved into No BS with Jen and Jess. And that's why we're here 4 years later. Anyways, back to the hook, right? We've overcome rejection to publishing the book. When we were publishing the book, the editing part, like, I had to keep rejecting Jen's poor grammar and poor.
Don't ever do a book with Jesse, ever. Ever.
And so there was so much editing, which for me is like total rejection. I hate that. I'm just like, let's print it. So if you don't know, like if you're new here, we do have a book.
Yes. We
co-authored a book, and it's got a whole bunch of insight from people that were jumping into the chat.
Yeah, so we added their comments into the book.
Yeah.
So we had two thoughts.
Yeah.
So one was, it's been almost 4 years since we did the live streams with a smaller community.
Yes.
And so let's do it again with a bigger community and get more cheat codes and more. So let's go through and kind of talk through that again.
Yep.
So that's one thing, which like that's 3 or 4 live streams, easy, 5,
yes.
6. But then we also from that conversation, so we wrote the book. It's all about personal relationships and using 5S to have better relationships. And then Jennifer was walking one day and just all these things started blowing up in her head. And so I started capturing, okay, what's next? And Jesse kind of knows it, but doesn't know it. But I started looking at it. What if we applied this to our internal relationship with ourselves? So not outward, not the personal, love relationships, platonic relationships, friendships, family. But what if we took it and kind of evaluated it introspectively? We'll use Betsy's word. And so one, hey, let's do this again with a bigger tribe. And two, is there like a second book or is there another thought? But we can start it with live streams just to see how those conversations go.
Yeah.
So we want to know, like, is that a good idea? Should we try it? Should we like go out and start having these conversations again?
Yes. Okay. So first, here's a nice signal. Mario says,
"Yeah,
can y'all share the link?" Yes, I will. Once we get off the live stream, I'll drop a link in the chat.
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, and we have an audio version.
We do. And it's so much. The audio version is so good because it's multiple voices.
Yep.
So it's Jesse and I reading the parts that we spoke to. Adam Hoots helped us narrate it kind of throughout, like the voices that maybe weren't ours. And then Buddy Brumley, one of our dear, amazing friends that passed away last year, he kind of helped us do the intro and the outro.
Yes.
And it just anyway, there's just so many really cool voices to the audio that they can find on the website.
So I'll put the links in the thing, and it's also available on Amazon, but I will put the link in the chat once we get on.
Yes.
And so the question, folks, is this. Keep thinking about it. What do you think about a relaunch conversation about the 5S's and relationships, right? Because some people haven't been exposed to that torture. And what do you think about maybe a sequel to that book on 5S in relationships with yourself? And so we're just throwing it out there. We'll see what it is. Next call might be the first F. Maybe not.
And it's been 4 years, so we've had like more examples and more things, more stories we could pull from. Because even at that point, I think you and I, which I think is a cool, like another way to look at it, is maybe we were not as far into not being in a relationship.
Right.
And so like just that, like what over the last 4 years we've been able to tackle and like really experience and things like that.
Yes.
Just with the things going on in our lives, not having come right out of relationships.
Yes.
So anyway, it's that part.
So I don't know if that's an ask or a threat or a warning. Maybe it's all of the above. That's what's kind of cooking over here on this side of the world. You got any closing thoughts, Jen?
You know what? I just do, again, I'm going to double down on what I said when it came to, for a long time in my career, for a long time, even when I was winning in things, I took rejection personally. And I took it as when someone said no, or someone made a comment that hurt my feelings, or it made me think I wasn't bringing value, or that I didn't know what I was talking about. I took it personally. I took it as that person personally does not see or value me. And I'm going to challenge each of you when you are in a conversation or you're in a room where you're pitching it and someone is just, coming at you, or someone is really resisting what you're saying. If you'll stop and just take a moment, one, because quiet is always good. And when you can create quiet, it makes people think a little bit. So take a moment, take a breath, and really in your mind go, okay, they're not rejecting me. They are rejecting the change I represent. And if you can stop and think about it from that perspective, and then maybe even it's whatever you say next, or because you're thinking that, they may say something next, then use that as an opportunity to value them, acknowledge them, whatever it is, but also don't take it personal. Like when you leave that room, it's like, okay, I've done this. Now this is what I'm doing next. Instead of, okay, now I'm just beat down. Now this is obviously a bad idea. Like, don't allow that to derail you if you see what the good that it could do. That's all I got.
Oh, look, I love it. Chris says, we may need a therapy.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I know, right? Like, what a great segue.
And so here's my closing thought. Right? Mario Acosta says, anybody can learn and get used to winning. Only champions can do the same when they lose. Right?
Yes.
And it just reminds me of Joe Rogan's famous quote of, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So with that,
Yes.
take the shot, learn fast, dust yourself off. If you're on like the fear or rejection side, if you got people in your space that are hesitant and apprehensive, walk with them.
Yes.
Help them know that it's not the end of the world and you got them. Like, that's what we got to do. We are going to go walk with some awesome people the rest of the day in Sedona. I hope you get ultra jealous. Donella, Josh, thank you.
Yes.
Shout out for like actually showing up, being here. And that's also a call out to the rest of y'all that didn't jump on the live stream. I hope you see this in the replay. And we will talk again soon.
Thank y'all.
Chicken.